State-mandated testing has been a staple in Texas curriculum for decades. While educators do concede that testing is necessary, they question if the current test, the STAAR, is the right method to gauge student growth. Chances are you're more than aware by now that the state-mandated test you had to take in school has changed in a big way for your child. It's now called the STAAR exam. It's a series of high-stakes tests used to grade schools, teachers, and students. State and federal accountability standards judge how well schools educate children largely based on the results. Students in 5th and 8th grade can be held back if they fail some portions of the STAAR. And high school students are required to pass 3 of the 5 end-of-course exams to graduate. No pressure, right? Midland ISD Superintendent Dr. Ryder Warren says in order for a district to evolve, there must be some sort of testing.
There's got to be a way to assess. There's got to be a program, a system set up to evaluate how the kids are doing on the state curriculum.
That's where the TOS test came in. The state-mandated test to measure student growth in correlation with curriculum.
They really weren't high-stakes testing. Kids didn't get nervous and sick over those tests.
Several years later, the test was modified into what was known as the TAKS test.
When we first got the first year scores of the TAKS test, all the scores were lower than what they were on the TOS test. But the kids responded, the teachers responded, the parents responded, and those scores started rising.
Today, all Texas students are required to take the STAAR test. And Dr. Warren admits it's unlike any test he's seen. Not only has there been a learning curve for students, it has been just as challenging for staff.
And that's, of course, where the standardized testing frustrates me, because the test is one size fits all.
Understanding the curriculum, understanding how to create a good lesson plan, teaching that plan, and then evaluating the plan and evaluating kids. It's a very difficult job.
Dr. Warren says years of work to improve scores has been tough. He's found Midland ISD is not alone.
The problem we have now is, though, all the work that every school district is doing, that every campus is doing in the state of Texas, everything that we're doing, again, we're still not really statistically moving up.
And it's hurting our kids trying to get into college who are smart.
Looking at results year to year, Ector County ISD as a district has scored lower than the state average. And much the same for Midland ISD. The district scoring at least 8 points lower than the state average. Final scores for this school year will not be released for another month. If the trend holds, more disappointment is to come. But it's not all bad news. Dr. Warren and his staff have been working to improve scores year after year. Now, he has a different approach.
The test that we take at the state level actually gives us data that we can use to change things in the classroom. That's what we ultimately want to use it to. But if the test is not doing what we need it to do, we're really not being able to use those scores to make changes, because those scores are suspect. We don't know if it's really the right test, the right tool to be using to truly assess the 5 million kids that are in the state right now.
He and other educators have taken their concerns to state lawmakers.
There is way too much information to cover for them to master a test like that. With the grammar rules and just literary devices to hit, it's just overwhelming.
The basic education for a child today is not the basic education of a child 10 years ago.
There are real challenges, from the latest and greatest technology to figuring out the newest test. One thing you'll find that hasn't changed: why these educators go to work.
Is it still worth it?
Oh, absolutely. At every level. At every level. We think these are the best jobs there are in this community.
To be there for them, to know that they can come to school and be cared for, and then also that I'm going to be proud of them for all the accomplishments and things that they do throughout the year.
You can accomplish almost anything you want in this world of education, work, what have you, if you're willing to work at it and if you don't quit.
And that's an A+, no matter the curriculum. Changes could be coming to the STAAR exam. Educators from all over the state have expressed their concerns with this year's test, prompting the state education commissioner to take a second look at the current test. In the studio, I'm Tatum Gwynn, CBS 7 News.